Hey, besties. Okay, so I wanted to try to do something a little different, but also kind of similar to some of the things that I've done previously. I did kind of like a what if series, like a little mini series where I just sort of played around with like Sims 2 lore and adapting it to the Sims 4 and seeing like what if these pairings happened, like what what would go on, or even like if these certain scenarios happened, like what would come of The Sims, basically. And so I really wanted to do something with the Goths, and I'm usually really intimidated by the Goth family, mainly because of just like how famous they are. Like they are the Sims family, period. Especially Bella Goth specifically. She is like the Sim. So I think not having to deal with her was actually a little helpful. I was like much less intimidated. So I was thinking like basically if the Sims 2 Goth households were in the Sims 4 and 10 years had passed, like what exactly would that look like? And it's kind of like a combo of like my townie makeovers and like the townie makeovers 1 year later, and just I was in the mood to do something with like the Goth family. And so I was really excited about Cassandra because like in The Sims 2, literally their household description starts off by saying that she's ready to have a family. Obviously Bella isn't in that household, so therefore she is not in this household because obviously, you know, I'm sticking with the lore of The Sims 2. So 10 years go by, Mortimer's dead. I'm so sorry. He definitely would have been dead, so he's out of here. And he married Dina, so Dina got like right to it, and she had like a baby as soon as she possibly could. So her daughter is a child, because I fear she would waste no time. So Cassie and Don obviously got married because he wants that money, but he's 100% still cheating, like 1,000%. Like, no, he did not have a redemption arc. I don't think so. I think he is very okay with like what he has going right now. But obviously, Cassie wanted like a family, so she has 2 kids. They're kind of young. So I don't think like right after they got married they had these kids, but like that was always her goal. So Dina's daughter, I imagine, is more of like a traditional goth, like goth family goth, you know? And Mortimer is also a young adult now. Not Mortimer. Alexander is also a young adult now. And so I'm only doing everyday and formal wear because this was like a lot of Sims to do, and I did not want this video to be like 7 hours long. But I think it would be interesting to do all their outfits if I care this much. In like a little bit I may like revisit them, I don't know, but I thought it was really fun to like sort of play around and use my imagination and basically create lore myself. Obviously Don Lothario is like an adult now, which he's already an adult in The Sims 4, I believe, but obviously he's more like older adults, almost elder, not quite, but just like he's like in firmly in the adult bar basically. And I considered giving him a receding hairline. Like I really I really thought about it, but then I'm like, no, Don would take a little bit too good care of himself. Like he has people to date and mess with, like, you know what I mean? There's no way he would like let himself fall apart like that. Like he would be on the first flight to Turkey to get that little airline operation. Like he would 100% get like hair transplants and hair plugs and like anything to like keep him looking good, because you know he has a lifestyle to maintain. And also he is very much not wearing a wedding ring, and I almost wanted to get that one little like it's like a shadow of a ring because I fear that's exactly what would happen. Like I fear he has one and he chooses not to wear it outside or really in front of Cassandra either. Like they have like some form of like arrangement going, I don't know. And so I also imagine that Cassie would have gotten her name hyphenated, because I fear like right when they were married, like it kind of plays out that way in The Sims 2. Like he's with it, but he's not really happy about it. So I imagine that she's not stupid. Like I'm sure she sensed that like the marriage isn't like amazing. So like I'm sure she didn't just try to take his name, and she wanted to still like keep some part of her previous life, you know. I think she would definitely be a person who hyphenated her name, and she hyphenated her kids' names too. And it also helps to separate them from her, like, I guess, younger sister that Dina gave birth to, who's just like a regular Goth, because Dina needed to secure that legacy real quick and the money. I thought her kids were like so cute, and I've been trying out a little different skin detail than usual, so they look a little strange, but not too much. I think they're cute. I just have to sort of get used to the way it looks. But I think it's like really good because it's very like Maxis Match and very smooth. So I really like that. And I initially was going to have Ophelia, who's her youngest child. I originally was going to have her dressed in like red, but then I figured that she would be more pink. But like with some of like the goth aesthetics, but I think she'd be more pink. Like I think that Cassie would be more open to sort of opening up the color palette a little bit more. And I gave both Ophelia and William, who are Cassandra's kids, more like Victorian-ish names because I feel like Cassandra has such a proper name, like an old proper name. I feel like she would want to like continue that. Like the Goths always have very like Victorian sounding first names, so I really wanted her to, you know, sort of express that more. And I made sure that like all the adults sort of matched the way that they look, sort of in The Sims 2, with like their skin tone and their hair colors and their eye colors and everything. And obviously I just used their like Sims 4 face, so it's kind of like a nice blending between the old and like the new. And I feel like she would definitely dress her son in like a little sailor outfit for his formal wear. And yeah, I sort of wanted to play around with like the formal and the informal for like the next generation of the Goths. And for Alexander, I think I made him chased by death as his like third trait, because I fear that he thinks that Bella died, like not that she was abducted, but that she died. And I feel like maybe he thinks that there's some sort of something following their family, so he's sort of living a bit differently. And also I gave him the academic lifetime aspiration just for like the moment, because I feel like he's definitely in like university or something and learning from people. Maybe he's doing like research into whatever he thinks killed his mom, even though his mom is definitely not dead, just abducted in someplace else. And normally I make him like super sad and brooding, and he's still sad, definitely sad, but I think he's more, I don't know, he's more cool, I guess, I don't know. I think that him and William get along like so well. Like I think he is like more of a father to William than Don is, really, because you know Don has, again, a lifestyle to maintain. Like I fear he's not really home too much, and I think William is like super interested in learning about like all of the things, and Alexander is like a really good role model and teacher to his nephew. So I think that like they have like a really strong bond, which is why you see him holding him in like all the photos of him except for the one photo that he has with his dad. But like, yeah, no, that's definitely more his baby than even Cassandra. Like I think that like that's literally like his child, so, like he loves him. But I sort of made him less like loner, mopey, and more like chill with his sister and trying to like, you know, live life a bit more, but also a bit more like skeptical and a bit more like hesitant, if that makes sense. And so in The Sims 2, they have like the most money, like literal like cash money. So I fear they are very, very rich. And they've always been super, super rich, but like they're definitely like 100% rich this time. And so obviously Dina married Mortimer for the money, 100%. Like 100%. And she's technically a widow, and she didn't kill him. I don't think that she really like messed with him any, but she definitely went back to Caliente. And Cassandra, in like her grieving of her dad, she adopted a cat named Bronte, because like Wuthering Heights is like her jam. Like it changed her fundamentally in high school, and like she just loves that story. So she definitely has a cat named Bronte, and he wears a cute little sweater, and life is great. And so as far as Dina goes, like, I really wanted to, I don't know, like she's a gold digger 100%. Everybody knows this. Like but she's also older now, and she's like been with the family for a bit longer, and I definitely think that her and Don are still together in some form. Which is why like in the screenshots they're standing like 7 feet apart, because they're definitely not having an affair still. Like, but I also wanted her to just like give like obnoxious wealth, like like she's like deep in the family archive, call her Kim Kardashian, like she's wearing the dead people's clothes. Like, she's doing all the things, like she's in the closet down, she's like touching all the jewelry, she's wearing all the jewelry, like you just know. And I made sure that I gave her the most obnoxious wedding ring possible, because it had to be crazy. Like it's Dina we're talking about, like she wants everything. I really wanted that to still be very much her. I do think she's matured a little bit, because again she is an adult now. Like there have been a whole decade for her to sort of mature a little bit. And I imagine that she is like slightly older than Cassandra, which is why I gave her a little bit more age, like facially, than Cassandra. But I don't think she's that much older, so I didn't give her too much. And also like I fear like she would also take really good care of herself. But like not super like plastic surgery-y, but just like she looks good for her age, And so she was always very like pink in like my headcanon, in my Townie Makeover lore headcanon, but she definitely wore a black dress, and I wanted to sort of go for a more like mature color, and I don't know why like brown sort of became that. And I was going for a much more like sleek look at first, but I just couldn't find something that I really cared about, so I pivoted to something a bit more outrageous. But again, I said like she's deep in like the family fashion archive, like she's wearing pieces from like years ago, and yeah, I think that's sort of the vibe that I sort of wanted it to give. Like it's a bit much, but it's also like high fashion, not really, but like I hope the vibes are right, because it's a very particular vibe that I'm hoping that she gives. And I I find that so interesting. I think that, I don't know, just her still being here is just so interesting. Like I like thinking about like time jumps, like a lot can happen in 10 years. So I really wanted her to feel older, not too old, but older. Like she's matured a bit, but not too much. Like she's still very in it for the money and about possessions. And yeah, so I imagine that like as soon as she got married to Mortimer, like she knew she had to do something. And quickly, because that was an old man, you know what I mean? Like, and like if he were to have died maybe before they got married officially, or like newly married, there was like, room just to really exclude her from like getting stuff. So she made sure that that kid was born like immediately. And also named after a like Goth ancestor, to like really drive the point home. And I love that. Like I thought that was really funny. Like she's really serious about this. But it's also like, do you see like her jewelry? Like that's why she did it. Like she had a plan. She just needed a platform, and the baby worked. And so this is the last member of the family, and her name is Olivia Goth, after a like Goth ancestor. And she is actually macabre. Like I think that she's like a goth, which is funny because like Dina's not at all about that life, like at all. I don't think that Dina's necessarily super happy that this is what like her daughter's into, but it's also like I think that that's just so fun. You can try to take the goth out of a goth, but like you really can't actually. Like it's quite literally tied to her blood. Like there's nothing that she could do to take that from her. And like I don't know, I just thought like this family's so interesting. Like there's so many different dynamics going on, and I think that there's like no hard feelings between like Olivia and like her older siblings. Like I think that they love her. Like they include her in like the kids, you know, because she's just a little kid, you know. Like I don't think that they necessarily have any hard feelings about her. They probably don't like Dina, but like she's around because Olivia's here, you know. And Don is just like tolerated, but I don't even think he's at home that often. Like he's just around, you know. Like I don't think that it's really like a marriage of love in that way, which makes me really think like, because remember her and I think Dark Dreamer is supposed to have like something, or like could possibly have something because they were like such good friends. So I imagine like maybe Cassie has that going for her. I don't know. Because like in my mind she just seems like really happy, like too happy to have the husband that she has. So maybe she's like living life, you know. Maybe she has like other options out there, and like she's just chill with like her family and everything looks very like official, but it's like not. And yeah, they're kind of close in this screenshot, but they're much further away from each other in the next one. But the kids are so cute. Like I think that was like my favorite thing. And for these screenshots I wanted to make sure that I like captured everybody in like their own way. Like I wanted to do some group ones, but also some like solo ones, or like ones with like the kids, just to make it feel a bit more like authentic, you know. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think of these Sims, and if you guys want me to do like another iconic family with like a time jump, like let me know. And I'll see you in the next video.